Okay, so here you can see oogenesis and follicular development. So here, this is showing oogenesis, and then this over here is showing follicular development. So remember, the oocyte sits inside the follicle. Okay, so it's inside these different follicles at different stages. In yellow is the fetal period. Okay, so you can see before birth in female babies, oogonia in developing ovaries, these are stem cells, they start to divide by mitosis and produce primary oocytes. And these primary oocytes begin meiosis, but they're arrested in prophase 1. So they halt and they don't continue, okay, not during childhood, not until they hit puberty, and hormonal changes each month will trigger a few of these primary oocytes, okay, sitting inside primordial follicles to start to develop. Okay, so when they start to develop, basically it stays a primary oocyte, okay, arrested in prophase 1 as the follicle around it grows, okay, under the influence of FSH. So the primordial follicle develops into a primary and then a secondary follicle, okay, and inside you still have a primary oocyte, okay, so here and here, okay, inside the follicle or the sac of cells surrounding it that's growing, you still have your primary oocyte arrested in prophase 1. Okay, and it's right before ovulation that surge in LH triggers this primary oocyte, okay, that you can see right here, to finish meiosis 1 and produce a secondary oocyte, and then the first polar body that degenerates. And it's the secondary oocyte now, okay, in the mature or Graafian follicle that ruptures during ovulation, and you can see it releases the secondary oocyte and the corona radiata that surrounds it, moves into the uterine tube, to the fallopian tube, where it may or may not be fertilized. Okay, so now the secondary oocyte here, now this will become the corpus luteum over here during the post-ovulatory phase, and the secondary oocyte that's moved into the uterine tube now begins meiosis 2, but it's arrested this time in metaphase 2. And it still needs another signal to be able to complete metaphase 2. And that signal, which may or may not ever happen, okay? But if it does, it's a sperm cell that comes and penetrates the secondary oocyte, okay, here. And the second it crosses that plasma membrane, it triggers the secondary oocyte that's stuck in metaphase 2 to finish meiosis 2, producing your second polar body here and your ovum right here. Okay. So it's only an ovum for a second, because basically very quickly the head of the sperm will sort of dissolve, degenerate. It'll release its genetic material into the ovum and becomes a diploid fertilized zygote.
Done.
Mm-hmm.